Hey guys, Allison here. Well, I have a question for you. When is it too late to reinvent your life? Now, what do I mean by that? I think that people get to a certain age, they may not be happy, and they may just feel like, it's too late for me. I really can't make changes now. And it might be in relationships, often it's in career choice, whatever it is, lifestyle. You know, it's never too late to reinvent yourself. I like to look at Mother Angelica as a great example. She was a nun. She actually she was crippled. I mean, she had a lot of physical problems from an accident. And at 58 years old, she founded EWTN. And she ran it for many, many years before she became infirm and finally passed. But she was a dynamo. How many people think at 58 years old that they can start something new like that? But let me assure you, you can. Now, it may not be just, as you're older, but you might be at that midlife point where you say, I don't know if I can do this the rest of my life. Or maybe you're a young mom and you're working full time and, you've got children to take care of, a house to take care of, a relationship, all this different stuff that's going on. And you feel like there's no other way, mostly because you probably don't have a lot of time to think about it being any different. There's always time and there's always opportunity to reinvent yourself and your life. But what are the steps that you need to do that? First off is set aside some quiet time and to start to discern, maybe bring it as a prayer intention. It may take a number of months even to start saying, Lord, what is your plan for me? Because he has a perfect plan for each one of us, but the noise of the world can really drown it out. Or we look at social media, we're supposed to be doing this, supposed to be doing that, and that's supposed to be perfect and stuff like that, and we're miserable. Most people, I think it was Thoreau who said that most men, and I'd add women, lead lives of quiet desperation, and it's not supposed to be that way. So you might be in a transition. Maybe you're going to try to change careers. Maybe you've just retired, or you're contemplating retirement. And you said, what's the next chapter going to be? Is it just golf? Is it just sitting on the front porch? No, there's so many more things you can do. Or even, like if you're not satisfied, maybe in your job, there's a side hustle you can start right now that can grow into something. This is where coaching is so powerful. Now, coaching is for somebody who's, reasonably whole, all right, not in any kind of distress or, major emotional or mental problems, but you know that there's more, or you're finding like you can't get it organized, you can't get it together, and often it's the noise. And a skilled coach is trained to really listen, to help you get in touch with what's in here. And God speaks to us in our hearts, all right? He speaks in other ways as well, but generally speaking, when somebody, let's say, has had a vocation, let's say, I always knew it in my heart. I was always attracted to let's say, the religious life, or I was always attracted to the married life, whatever it is. So if we don't set aside that time to get in touch with that, but even when we do, often it's hard because we keep asking ourselves the same questions, or we talk to people who really don't know how to really guide us. And that's where coaching is powerful. We're still in the beginning of the year. There's time, folks, to say, you know what, I'm going to make 2023 a better year. Or maybe whatever time you're listening to this video, there's always time to start right now. If you go to Catholic Life Coaches, take a look at the coaches that are there. There are different coaches that specialize in different areas, but just a general life coach, can be very helpful as a start to say, all right, I want to start changing my life. I don't want to continue like this, let's say, for the next 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, whatever it is. There's always a way. And I know we're living in dark times where it just seems like things are getting worse. It's really that things are being exposed for how insane it is. It's been behind the scenes for a long time. And I think that that's causing a lot of us to say, wait a minute, I don't want to live like this anymore. I don't want to, maybe we're rejecting the mainstream media. Maybe we're, homeschooling, whatever it is. So these are opportunities for us. Catholic Life Coach particularly is really helpful because we want to hear what God wants for us. Sometimes we can set goals and they may not be the goals that are really going to make us happy. And that's where discernment and having somebody to ask you those right questions, ask you like how to get in touch with that can be really helpful. So I hope you'll consider it. Log on to Catholic Life Coaches. Most work by phone and internet, so you don't need somebody in your area, and that's the exciting thing about coaching. But again, it's for those of you who want to move forward in some way, who want to make changes, who want to maximize who you are, who God is calling you to be. If there are serious emotional challenges and difficulties, first reach out to a therapist on catholictherapist.com. Get that resolved, and then at some point, and I find this with a lot of my clients, at some point we're really moving into more coaching, like, okay, how do I move forward? Now that these other problems are starting to be resolved or have been resolved, I want to move forward in a powerful way. And God needs us as his army, all right, to be the best moms and dads, to be the best workers, the best friends, the best neighbors. And that means sometimes that we have to kind of go within, find out who we are, see where he's calling us, and then really step into that calling. Learning what our real strengths are. What are those gifts and talents that he's given us that sometimes really lay dormant for a long time for a lot of people because they've never stopped to get in touch with it. So that's my suggestion. Download the free report, How a Catholic Life Coach Can Move You from Ordinary to Extraordinary. I think you'll find it really helpful. Make sure you like and share the video. God bless you.